Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing and today we are talking about bullying in children, and we're going to talk about how you recognize it and how you tackle it. We're equally going to talk about the implications of bullying to children. But before we continue on this, I want you to go subscribe to my channel, invite people, and as well like the video if you want to see me continue to make this kind of videos. So it actually happened to my son sometime last year. So my son was enrolled into the high school. 2 weeks into the school, he went in on a Monday to, which is their sports days. He went into the changing room to change sports his uniform into the sports uniform. When he finished changing his clothes, he noticed that his boots were not there. He looked around, saw other children in the same room playing around with his boots. He tried to get it from one person and they kick it to the next person. So he came back to the house after the day and told me and the dad, look at what happened, and mentioned the names of the student that did it. So, but he wasn't too sure of everybody because he's just 2 weeks into the school. The next time it happened again, now he knows the names, because whenever he comes back from school, we ask, how was your day? Since today was your sports day, how was it? What sports were you involved in, and how did you do? So he now mentioned the names of those children, and exactly most of them were the ones he mentioned last previous week. So I took the names when I was taking him to the school, and then on the next day, I reported to one of the staff who is among the pastoral team to look into it and stop those children from that. So initially, I didn't want to categorize it as bullying as it was the first attempt. But when it happened the second time, I noticed that there is something there that I have to report on time before it gets out of hand. First of all, before we continue, let us define what the term bullying means. Literally, bullying means the intentional act done by one person to the second person continually to cause harm or make the second person feel low of himself or herself. So, but the keywords we're going to take home from here is intentional and consistency of that act of the person. So, children pass through bullying a lot, even though adults pass through bullying. But what and how will we know that this child or this person is going through bullying? Bullying, when you are the mom or the dad who has a good connection with your child, you tend to understand when there is a change, when there is abnormality. So, so when you have a good connection with your child, you notice that you speak to your child, you communicate with your child will be able to tell you, look at what happened today. Even though they don't want to say, you try to poke, because sometimes they are like, I don't know what will happen if I say it, or will you say I'm trying to avoid something, or that I'm a weakling. But if you have a good conversation with your child, the person will be able to explain to you what or how the day has gone, how the day went. So it continued. They kept on poking him whenever there's nobody to watch. Those team or those group of boys would take off his glasses, trying to push him around, trying to take off his school bag and kicking and playing with it. He continued to tell me, and I report to the school. I reported to the school the first time, I reported to the school the second time, the third time. I had to wait for the parents to speak to them. When I saw one of the parents of the child, I spoke to her, and I said, can you please speak to your child and let your child avoid my son? Like at this point, I said, avoid my son. I'm not saying for them to be friends. Leave my son alone with your team of friends. Leave him alone because I'm no longer finding it funny. And when this happened, these parents assured me that she's going to talk to the son and it will stop. However, it didn't stop, it continued. And on that special day, I was lying down on my bed when my husband got a call and said, which says, come to school and pick your son. He's not feeling well. He got into a fight with other children. And both of us, luckily I was on off day, and both of us went to the school to see and know what happened. They brought my son. One part of his head was already swollen. He's not looking well. He's having headache. And as a mom, I was like, no, you have to tell me what happened. I try to maintain my cool. Somebody that knows me knows too well that I don't take anything to my children so easily. So I had to maintain my cool so I don't flicker. And I'm like, what happened? My son said, 4 children beat him up while he was coming back from a mathematics class, and one of them first of all pushed him down the stairs, and he turned around and pushed them back and pushed that person back when 3 other ones now pounced on him. But what am I trying to say in this situation? I was uncomfortable. I told the school, we made it a written report, because all this while we've been doing a verbal report, so we have to make it a written report. I took my son to AIE, and the doctor assessed him, did the x-rays, told him to go have some rest. As well, we reported to the police. The police came to the house, investigated my son, reported to the safeguarding team about it. We didn't just keep quiet because we want the school to take notice that we've been complaining for all this while, 8 months down the line, and this happened. There's been an incident whereby a group of children beat up a boy and killed the boy. So I don't want that to be my scenario. I don't want that to be my stories. I had to take the bull by the horn. So it didn't end there. We have to apply to the school authority, the council that looks after that admits children into schools. We applied for my son to change school. They denied me and said, actually, they don't have spaces in those schools, the schools I actually applied for. But if I'm not comfortable with their decision, I should reapply, which I actually reapplied. I got my evidences of how many times we've complained, how many things we've done, how we've remained calm, not taking the laws by our hands to sort this whole thing, how is destabilizing us as a family, and how is affecting my son. Because when we walk around, my son tends to see those children around the neighborhood, and when he wants to ride his bicycle, he's like, no, I don't know if I'll meet any of them around the neighborhood, because actually here they try to put your child in a school nearby to your home so that it's not too far. So for that reason, he preferred to stay indoor, not to ride his bicycle around the street. It is affecting his life. So I got these evidences, presented it on the day of the appeal, and in 24 hours they made their decision and granted my son the school which we applied for. So where is this going to? Your ability to identify bullying at the early onset is one thing. Talk to your child, talk to the person involved. Try to make the person know you're not going to be judgmental. Let the person open up and tell you. Use your own initiative and intuition, and observe, do you think that this person is passing through bullying? Then when you find out this, go to the authorities that are involved. If he's in school, speak to the school authority, the teachers, the principal. Don't just keep quiet. Continue to work on it and talk about it and complain about it until something is being done. I ended up that time within that short period to move, because those children were in the same class with my son. To take them out of my son's class, I told the school they must leave my son's school, my son's form, my son's class immediately, because I'm not comfortable. He cannot concentrate to study in that kind of environment. So continue to complain, do the little you can do, don't just keep quiet. Those children are looking up on you, and as their mom, you're not just mom at home. It's your responsibility to take care of them and make sure their mental health is okay. When you do this, report to the authorities, escalate it, and tell the school. You can as well sue them. You can as well sue them, because in our case, I contacted the lawyers and they gave me the ideas of what I have to do, and in order for me to sue, because I've been complaining about it. So you contact the lawyers. If it's where police is involved the police. Have your evidences so that they don't tend to deny it. Then if there's opportunity for you to bring that child out of that school, kindly do. If there's opportunity for you to take that person, let's say it's not a child, an adult, kindly do so. Because here are the complications of bullying to the individual that is being bullied. First of all, low self-esteem. The person will lose his or herself, will feel that I'm too poor, I'm too small, I can't do anything, I'm a weakling. That is how the person will be thinking about themselves. Secondly, the mental status is going to put, do you know, the trauma, the fear, the person will become isolated. And remember, when the person is isolated, do you know the consequences? If any stress the person is facing can lead to suicidal attempts or suicidal ideas into this person. Imagine a child that is exposed to bullying and how the person is going to navigate in life when the person grows up. So life itself is not easy, and bullying should not contribute to the hustles and the hurdle of the day. Bullying is unacceptable in any form, and we, the parents, have a lot to do. Build the confidence of your child. Tell them fear nobody. Sometimes they have to defend themselves. But when you tell them to always defend themselves, you never can tell what will happen. I told my last son to defend himself, and to be honest, the school were calling me on daily basis to complain to me about my boy's stubbornness. He was beating people mercilessly. Each day that he didn't beat any child, he beats 3 people. And I was like, okay, at this point I have to talk to him again. Okay, calm down. We have to find another road towards this whole thing. So please, talk to your son, talk to your child, do the needful as the parents. Don't keep quiet. You fight for that child of yours, fight for that friend of yours, even in the workplace, because bullying is not only physical, there's emotional bullying. So we look into it, both the physical and the emotional one, even in the workplace. When they're bullying a person by the management, by the senior team, you can be the whistleblower. You can speak to another person. You can hide your identity and complain about what they're doing to the other person that you're not comfortable with. Don't always wait for the person, because the bullier, the person they are bullying, might not really feel comfortable again to go talk to people. You don't know what's going through in that same person's head. You can be the whistleblower, to be honest. And if you think you're bold enough, confront the person and say, oh, stop it. If you think you're in the right position, stop it. Bullying is unacceptable in any form or in any figure. And at this point, I'm telling you, we are saying no to bullying, both in workplace, both in school, both at home, both by the parents. We're not taking it. Even when children are bullying their siblings, we'll be like, their siblings. No. Sibling or no sibling, we are not accepting bullying. Thank you for listening, and remember to subscribe and like this video for more ones. See you next time. Ciao.